Welcome back. In this episode, we are going to be taking a look at the galaxy colors of the Schmincke Super Granulating colors. Let's have a look at what colors are in the galaxy range. First up, we have the Galaxy Pink, which is made with PV16 and PBR33. Then we have Galaxy Violet, which is made with PR233 and PB29. Galaxy Blue, made from PG50 and PB29. And then Galaxy Brown, made with PV62 and PBR6. And finally, we have Galaxy Black, made with PBK11 and PB29. So that's the galaxy colors ready, dry, ready to go. Let's take a good look at each of these colors. First up, we have the Galaxy Pink. I think this is a beautiful color, and I'm so glad they created something a bit different. We've had so many blues when they first came out. I was like, this is just like all blue colors, and there's like one color that's different, and Galaxy Pink is it. And this is like a gorgeous wine Bordeaux kind of color, but heavily granulating because it has PV60, which I'm guessing is manganese violet, and PBR13, guessing it's mahogany brown. The specific color names are just guesses, and they do have other colors sharing the same pigment code. We only have the pigment code, so these are just for reference. They might be using different colors, but I can see these two making this color. Beautiful, beautiful color. Even if you don't buy this color, I think if you have manganese violet and mahogany brown or anything similar, try it. Try mixing with it and see how beautiful color you get, because that will definitely add to your color mixing vocabulary. It does suffer with the shine problem up here in the mass tone, so do be careful if you like to use the color as close to the mass tone as possible, but you get beautiful granulation all the way through. It is a one tone color, though. You don't get as much of a color separation between the two original colors happening here. You do see a little bit more brown coming through on this line here, and maybe like here if I squint, but it is definitely one homogenized color. In terms of color mixing, it mixes really well. It does have super high tinting strength, so it's not as high as the Glacier brown that we looked at in the previous episode, but it is still up there. It is almost as close to the Glacier brown. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a high tinting strength palette already to add this to, rather than weak tinting strengths, because if you have weak tinting strengths palette, then you are going to use up all your colors and a little bit of this color, and you'll still get this color because it's so strong. It's also super easy to rewear, so it's a great paint to work with if you have a strong palette, because it's going to mix well with all your other colors, as well as it not being difficult to rewear. However, you do see the super shine here as well that I mentioned before. So definitely be careful with how much paint you use, and try avoiding using the mass tone. In fact, with the Galaxy line, I have to say, is a little bit more prone to shine than all the other colors. I think I've noticed shine on all but one color. So just bear that in mind when you're buying the Galaxy range. Huge, strong granulation happening. It's absolutely gorgeous if you like granulation. Basically, I mean, if you don't like granulation, what you're doing looking at this line of paints, it's the clues in the name. But if you like granulation, then this is like granulation. I don't know if I can use that word. Okay, I'm not going to use that word, but it satisfies at the needs for granulations. It's comparatively harder to lift, but it's still relative. It's not heavily staining color, and because of that, you do still have some trouble with the glazing. I would say this is not as bad as some of the other colors because it's a little bit harder to lift, but again, these colors aren't ideal for glazing. Then we have the Galaxy Violet. And this is the only color where I didn't notice any shine, so you can go ahead and use it in its mass tone. It's made with PR233, which I'm guessing is the Potter's Pink, and PB29, which is Ultramarine Blue. And if you're thinking, hang on, didn't we have something similar before? We did. We have the Glacier Green, which is Potter's Pink, with PG50 rather than the Ultramarine Blue, and that's the difference you get between the two because of it. The Cobalt Turquoise, or what we guess as PG50, isn't as visibly granulating as the Ultramarine Blue, and that's where you get a lot more granulation happening here. Obviously, you also get the color being more violety because you're mixing basically pink with blue. So that's the difference between those two colors. You get warm violets happening granulation wise here with the background of that blue coming through. It's definitely more violety color than blue, and I can definitely agree with this being called Galaxy Violet. In terms of color mixing, it mixes like a ultramarine violet. It's very similar in color as well. When you think this is ultramarine violet, this is the color. It's a little bit more bluer ultramarine violet with like heavy granulation and warm granulation coming through. And so the results are pretty similar to what you would expect mixing with that color. You get huge amount of textures happening. Huge amount of textures. This owns the title, the right to the title of super granulating color, because this really is. In terms of transparency, it's classified as semi-transparent. I would agree with that. In terms of lift, it's pretty easy to lift, little bit left, but because it is pretty easy to lift, it doesn't do a great job in glazing. Next up, we have the Galaxy Blue, and again, we have a lot of shine here. Don't know if you can see it, which is why I wrote it, but I definitely can see with my eyes a lot of shine. It goes down to here. This is definitely one of those colors that you want to avoid. I mean, I was going to say this is one of those colors that you want to avoid using master, but I kind of feel like this is the color you want to avoid anyway, because this is Cobalt Turquoise with Ultramarine Blue. We already had the Glacier Blue, which is just two dominant colors flipped over. This is just slightly more turquoisey, and this is just slightly more ultramarine bluish. Yeah, if you have these two colors on your palette already and your camp mixer, then you definitely don't need it. Even if you're in the camp not as much mixing, you don't need both. Goodness sake, I don't know why they did this. I'm kind of glad I didn't get sponsorship or them supplying me with these paints. I bought them with my own money because I can say whatever I like. And honestly, there's no point in releasing two colors that are this similar. It's made up of colors that are quite often found in palettes of people who like granulating colors. It's definitely not. Don't buy these colors. You can see here also where it pulled, and it's hugely shiny. It is classified as semi-transparent, which I would agree, apart from this bit, but that was a lot of paint. Normally, if you paint like a normal person, then you will definitely get semi-transparent colors. I just feel like this color is so blah compared to, say, something like the Galaxy Pink or the Glacier Brown, which has lots of texture and interest. This is just bleh. It does lift very easily, which makes for bad glazer, and the color mixes as you would expect with, say, a Cobalt Turquoise, ultramarine blue color, because obviously there's just nothing special about this color. I try to be honest with you guys, and I honestly can't recommend this color. There are plenty of other colors in this range that are beautiful, that are unique, that are useful. This isn't one of them. Then we have the Galaxy Brown, and this one is definitely the brother or the sister or the half sibling of the Glacier Brown. This is Glacier Brown, this is Galaxy Brown. As you can see, Galaxy Brown is a little bit redder, warmer than the Glacier Brown. They are both super easy to re-wet. It is high tinting strength, but I wouldn't call this a super high tinting strength. So if you are looking for a good mixer color to go in your Be Well that is granulating, but maybe you don't have as high tinting strengths palette as say I do, you're a little bit scared of super high tinting strength colors, so then this is a really good alternative to go for because it's not as high tinting strength but still relatively high, and it mixes beautifully. It creates those muted autumnal rich colors like the other one did, but also not going super high. You get some shine at the top, so avoid using it in its mass tone. You get a lot of granulation in the brown granulation happening, and then from halfway down you actually start getting, you lose the brown granulation and you start getting the purple granulation coming through from that PV62. So here and here definitely has very different impression depending on how strong you want to use the paint with that. It is classified as semi-opaque, and I would agree with that. It's quite a lot of deposit here. It's quite hard to lift, but it's still not great at the glazing, but definitely a great mixer and probably an easier one to get on with if you don't have a super strong palette, or you're a little bit scared of that. With the Glacier Brown, you do need some guts to be mixing with it. So this might be the better introduction for you. Then we finally have the Galaxy Black. And this is like a gorgeous inky blue color. It does suffer from shine at the top, so avoid using it at its mass tone. It's made with PBK 11, which I'm guessing is Mars Black, and then PB 29, which is ultramarine blue. Beautiful inky color. If you think of indigo but granulating, then you get about the right impression of this color. When you look around here, it's definitely indigo-y rather than like indanthrone blue-y. It's more dark black than blue. It creates very interesting mixes up here with the warmer colors because you got the cool granulation happening. So you're not gonna get a completely muted out gray when you have like a warm color with cool color granulation, even though theoretically they should be the complement of each other and cancel each other out and make a gray, say somewhere like the vermilion. It's not going to do that because the colors split too much. So when you paint these two colors now, or when I painted these two colors, they looked more gray in the color mix, and then as the paint settles and the granulation separates from the colors that I mixed it with, it becomes, this one say becomes more orangey with a dark granulation than gray. So that's just something to bear that in mind if you do a lot of neutralization with your colors. It's classified as semi-opaque, and I don't know about that, but then again, it's very difficult to tell between semi-transparent and semi-opaque. It's like, can you see some deposit? Yes or no. I see some deposit. It's relatively easy to lift, but still some deposit, which means, yeah, it's still not great at glazing. That is it for Galaxy Black. What do I think of it? Granulating indigo, less scary mixing color, bleh, kind of interesting and beautiful color. If I had to rank them, I would definitely rank, ooh, it's hard to pick between Galaxy Brown and Galaxy Pink because this is a great mixing color. This is beautiful color on its own. I would probably pick Galaxy Brown over Galaxy Pink though, just because I'm more interested in finding good mixing colors. But this is also I'll put both of them at the top. Then Galaxy Black because I like indigo colors, and this is like a granulating indigo colors. Galaxy Violet, and then I don't even want to rank the Galaxy Blue personally. I'm sure somebody will love it and cherish it, but it's just not me. What did you think of these colors? Do let me know in the comments down below, because as I said before, My numbers for some reason have really dropped since I've started uploading videos again. I don't understand it. So if you can like this video, comment on it, share it with people, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, that would hugely help. Also, if you are interested in the Galaxy colors, as well as the Glacier colors that I mentioned last week, I do have dot cards, and you will get a brand new one of these. Don't worry, it's not going to be used like this. This is so that you can see what colors are on there. I do have dot cards of the Galaxy colors, and as well as the latter part of the Glacier colors. I also do have the first part of the Glacier colors and the deep sea blue. These are what I call back order colors. So these are older colors that we've already released in Patreon. But what you can do is if you sign up to receive this month's dot card, you get this month's dot card, but also the ability to back order these. So you can just let me know what colors you want. So you can actually have the entire collection in dot cards rather than paying out for a lot of money for all 25 of them. If you want to do that, just head on over to patreon.com/Kano and sign up to any tier that allows you to sign up to receive dot cards, and then just message me and we'll sort it out. I will also put the high-risk scans of all of these test sheets over on my Patreon as well, so that you can take a really good look and just see how beautiful this color is. Do let me know which colors you liked and which colors you didn't like, and if you do fancy buying any of this, I've left links down below to where you can get these colors. Using those links really help as well, because I get a commission. It doesn't cost you any extra, but I get a little commission back from Jackson, and that really helps in doing things like this series, because all that money goes to buying more art supplies for this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Next week we will be doing the forest colors that you've all been waiting for. So I will see you in the next episode. Bye!